Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. I'm Ty Glenn. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Wednesday. Got lots to cover. Before we go ahead and get started, make sure to hit this episode with a like and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Also, make sure that you're following on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. We're with you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11:30 a.m. to noon Central Time, 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, so you want to make sure that you're staying up to date on the latest episodes of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. And yes, I heard you guys' questions. I heard you reached out to me. You kept on asking me if Alex Ovechkin could hit 1,000 career goals. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't see it happening. I honestly don't. Yes, he is the greatest goal scorer in the NHL. But I just don't see him hitting 1,000 career goals. And we all know he surpassed Wayne Gretzky on the NHL's all-time goal-scoring list on Sunday's game, or in Sunday's game against the Islanders. But in this game, well, actually, overall, do I see Alex Ovechkin hitting 1,000 career goals before he calls it a career? I'm going to say no. I'm going to go with no. I don't see it happening. He has 1 year left remaining on his contract deal. He signed a 5-year contract with the Washington Capitals in July of 2021. His contract is set to expire after the 2025-26 NHL season. And at that time, he'll be a UFA. He'll be 40 years old at the time. He's 39 years old as of right now. He'll be 40 years old when his contract expires. And from that, I don't see him coming back for another season. And, of course, he's not going to play with another team. I think he's going to retire after that. But if he does reach 1,000 career goals, obviously that will be a bigger accomplishment because no NHL player has reached 1,000 career goals, and as we all know, he's currently at 895 goals right now, and so that would mean he would need 105 more goals to reach 1,000. And like I said before, I don't see it happening. But yet again, it could happen. I mean, we didn't expect nobody to break Wayne Gretzky's goal record, and Alex Ovechkin certainly did that. So it is a possibility, but as of right now, no. I'm going to say no. But we have seen him score 50, 60 goal seasons before. So, and he's still going strong for his age. I mean, he's 39 years old, and he's having a great season. He's got 42 goals of the year. I can see him hitting 900 goals before this season is over. But if I were to say the amount of goals that he'll have before his career is done, I'm going to say he gets to 930. 930 goals at the latest before Alex Ovechkin's career is said and done. But it is challenging to reach 1,000 career goals. No, I don't think no NHL player could reach 1,000 career goals. But Alex Ovechkin, with the way that he's playing at right now, it is a possibility, but I just don't see it happening. But let me know if you guys' thoughts. I mean, do you see Alex Ovechkin hitting 1,000 career goals? As of right now, I say no. It could happen, but I'm still staying true to my word. I'm saying no. It's not going to happen. But I know he's going to hit 900 goals before the season is over. The Capitals have 5 games remaining on their schedule. They are in action tomorrow against the Carolina Hurricanes, which, of course, they'll honor Alex Ovechkin for passing the goal record. And just the statement that PK Subban made on First Take on Monday. Alex Ovechkin in his prime. You did not want to be playing against Alex Ovechkin in his prime, because Alex Ovechkin, and I do agree with PK Subban's take on that on First Take on Monday, being the most feared player in the league. I do agree with that. I grew up watching Alex Ovechkin in the 2010s, and he will run you over like a freight train. Like, when this guy was out on the ice, you would not want to be out on the ice when he is out on the ice. If that was me in that situation and I was playing against Alex Ovechkin in his prime, I would have shivers down all the way down on my body. Like, I would be shivering. I would be scared to death playing against Alex Ovechkin, because this guy, you do not want to play around when he's out on the ice in his prime. because he was known for his gritty physicality. He would run you over like a freight train, and he would just dominate you in every sort of way. Every sort of way. Like, this guy was unreal in his prime. He was lethal. He was scary. You did not want to be playing against him. You would rather be on the same team than playing against him. And Patrick Kane was always my favorite hockey player growing up, but I always had a lot of respect for Alex Ovechkin and what he does. And like every time when the Blackhawks would play the Capitals, I'd be like, we got to watch out for Ovi. We have got to watch out for Ovi, because you did not want to be out on the ice when he's out on the ice. And of course, he's had some goals against the Blackhawks. He's had some highlight reel goals against the Blackhawks in his career. And he is definitely skilled. And like I said before, off air, you have to be very skilled to do what Alex Ovechkin does. You can't be solid. You can't be good. You can't be all right. You have to be very skilled, and that is why he was able to break the goal record of Wayne Gretzky. And who knows? We could even see another 50-goal season for Alex Ovechkin. I know he's going to hit 900 goals before the season is done, but we could see him hit even more than that before the season's over. Like I said, he's up to 42 goals of the season, and he's 8 goals away from having his 10th 50-goal season. So far, he has had 9 50-goal seasons in his career. He's tied with Wayne Gretzky and Gordie Howe for the most 50-goal seasons. And he could possibly get another 50-goal season before it's all said and done. And I said the same thing for Sidney Crosby. I said the same thing for Alex Ovechkin. These two veterans who came into the NHL at the same time is still going strong at their age. And of course, there's no 2004-2005 NHL season because of a lockout that year, so they didn't have a season. So they debuted it in the NHL at the same time. And at their age, Sidney Crosby is 38, Alex Ovechkin is 39, and they're still having unbelievable seasons so far. And Sidney Crosby's point streak came to an end at 12 games on Sunday when the Penguins lost 3-1 to my Chicago Blackhawks, but they had a 5-0 shutout win over the Blackhawks on yesterday, and Sidney Crosby had a goal in that game. So it is unreal with how Sid and Ovi are still playing, still having good seasons, but Alex Ovechkin's season is probably better because not only the goal record, but the Capitals are also in the playoff spot, whereas the Penguins, yes, Sid is having a good year, but the Penguins are not going to be in the playoffs, so you expect Sid's season to be somewhat more interesting, but to be honest, it's really not compared to Ovi's based on where the Caps and the Penguins are at. And one thing I will remember from Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin rivalry, I will never ever forget this moment. Game 2, 2009 Stanley Cup playoffs, Caps, Pens, both Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin had a hat trick in that game. Capitals won the game. Penguins won the series. And, of course, we all know what happened after that. They went on to win the Stanley Cup. They played against the Detroit Red Wings for the second straight year in the Stanley Cup Final, because in the 2008 Stanley Cup Final, these two teams played against each other. Detroit won in 2008. Pittsburgh won in 2009. And Sidney Crosby was the youngest captain at the time to win the Stanley Cup. So it's amazing how Sid and Ovi are still going strong for their age. But let me know you guys' thoughts. Do you think Alex Ovechkin could hit 1,000 career goals before the season is over with? But as of right now, I'm predicting that he'll hit 930 goals before his career is done. But hitting 1,000 career goals, I don't know. I just don't see it happening. But we'll just have to see going ahead. Which brings me to my next conversation. Will Alex Ovechkin, or with Alex Ovechkin passing Wayne Gretzky on the NHL's all-time goal-scoring list, who is another player that could possibly break Alex Ovechkin's record? Obviously, it's most likely not going to happen. I think Alex Ovechkin will still remain as the top goal scorer in the NHL. I don't think another player will break his record, but I saw NHL post this the other day on their social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, of top 10 NHL players that could break Ovi's record. Of course, first one being Sidney Crosby. He can do it in the 2032-2033 season. Second, Austin Matthews, 2034-35 season. Third one, Leon Draisaitl, 2036-2037 season. Connor McDavid, 2037-2038 season. David Pastrnak, 2037-2038 season. Nikita Kucherov, 2039-2040 season. Nathan MacKinnon, 2040-2041 season. Sam Reinhart, 2044-2045 season. Cole Caulfield, 2047-2048 season. And then Wyatt Johnson, 2051-2052 season. Obviously, a lot of big names on this list. But here are my top 5 players that I think will break the record. And, of course, number 1 will have to be Austin Matthews. Currently at 398 goals. Did he score in the Maple Leafs game against the Panthers yesterday? I don't think he did. But if he did, he's probably 1 goal away. Let me check that right quick on my phone while I have it pulled up. Okay, no, that was John Tavares who scored in the Panthers game. But yeah, Austin Matthews currently at 398 goals. He's 2 goals away from 400. He's up to 30 goals of the season. The Maple Leafs are in action today against the Tampa Bay Lightning, so he could easily just score 2 goals in a game and be up to 400. Currently 27 years old. He'll turn 28 in September. And he has had 40-goal plus seasons before, so it wouldn't surprise me if he would break the record. And fun fact, he's the first player in Toronto Maple Leafs history to have 4 consecutive 40-goal seasons. He's also had 60-goal seasons like Alex Ovechkin, which is one of the reasons why I have him at the top of my list for a player to possibly break Alex Ovechkin's record. And Austin Matthews, he has 60 goals in the 2021-2022 season. He has 69 goals in the 2023-24 season. So he was 1 goal away last season from having a 70-goal season, which, to be honest, I have never seen an NHL player have a 70-goal season. So this would have been the first time that I would have seen an NHL player had a 70-goal season if that were to happen last season. And both those seasons, obviously, he won the Maurice Richard. He also won the award in 2021, in which he had 41 goals that year. But Austin Matthews has even said himself that he has such a long way to go to break Alex Ovechkin's record. His teammate Matthew Knies believes he can break the record. I personally believe he could break the record, but obviously, like he said, long way to go. If I were to decide who would break the record, it would probably be Austin Matthews, no doubt. And then up next, we got Cole Caulfield of the Montreal Canadiens, currently up to 37 goals of the season, scoring last night in the Canadiens' 4-1 win over the Detroit Red Wings, which I don't even know where the Detroit Red Wings are at after this. Seems like their playoff hopes are fading. He currently has 118 goals in his career. He's 24 years old. And if you watch Cole Caulfield, you will know that he is known for his goal scoring skills. Like, he's known for his speed, acceleration. I can probably even describe him as a playmaker with the way that he plays out on the ice. He's known for his offensive skills as well. So he is a player that's no doubt in mind going to light the lamp every single night. It is still early in his career, so Cole Caulfield will need to be consistent and increase his scoring rate to possibly break the record, but we will just have to see. And then number 3, Sidney Crosby. And I know a lot of you Penguins fans will be asking me, why do I have Sidney Crosby at number 3rd on the list? He should be number 1 on my list. But I have him 3rd on my list because, I don't know if I don't know how many years left he has on his contract, but I'm guessing probably after he turns 40, 41, he's going to call it a career. He's up to 623 goals in the year. He scored last night in the Penguins' 5-0 shutout win over the Chicago Blackhawks. And he has such a long way to go as well from Alex Ovechkin. I don't know. I just don't see it happening for Sid. I mean, it could happen. But I have him number 3 on my list because I can somewhat see it happening, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't think he's going to break the record. But he did break a record from Wayne Gretzky this season, though. He passed Wayne Gretzky for most points per game season. He's currently 37 years old. 31 goals for the year so far for Sid. And Sidney Crosby, even if he doesn't break the record, he still has a lot to take away. I mean, he will need 295 more goals to get to 895 goals for Alex Ovechkin. But given his age, he will need to be consistent at his scoring pace over the next few seasons to possibly break the record. And then number 4 on my list, gotta get Connor McDavid. He has 361 goals of his career. He has 26 goals this season. Currently out with a lower body injury for the Edmonton Oilers, so he has missed some time. And I just don't see him breaking the record as much as I do with Austin Matthews and Cole Caulfield. And he's not even a goal scorer. Connor McDavid is more of a playmaker than he is a goal scorer. So that's another reason why I don't see him breaking the record. Not only because he's missed a lot of games, but also he's not that much of a goal scorer. He's more of a playmaker than he is a goal scorer. But I will admit he did have 64 goals in the 2022 NHL season, which is a career high for Connor McDavid. So the scoring might be there, but I don't know. He's, like I said, more of a playmaker than he is a goal scorer. The goal scoring might be there, but it's not at the same level as Austin Matthews or Alex Ovechkin. Or, even Wayne Gretzky. And then number 5, you got Nathan McKinnon, Nate Dogg, Nate Mack on the list. I don't know if he scored last night against Vegas, but he's up to 367 goals of his career, 32 goals this season. He notched his 1,000 career point this season as well in the Avalanche's 3-0 shutout win over the Chicago Blackhawks. So he has 1,014 points in his career. 29 years old. He scored a career high 51 goals in 2023-24 season, and he will need, and just like I said for Sid, just like I probably said for Connor McDavid, he will need to increase his goal scoring pace and be consistent in order to break the record. The other 5 players on the list: Wyatt Johnson, Sam Reinhart, David Pastrnak, Nikita Kucherov, Leon Draisaitl. Yep, I definitely do not see him breaking the record. I might see maybe Austin Matthews, Cole Caulfield. That's why I put him in my top 2. Are more than likely to break the record. Sid, that's a maybe. And then Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon are, least likely to break the record. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I always like to hear from you, whether you agree or disagree with what I say. Hopefully what I said made sense in a way. Hopefully you can understand it. Sometimes I do stutter when I do talk on my podcast. That is a habit that I'm looking to break. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you think that any one of those 10 players could break the record? If so, who is your top player to break the record? For me, it's Austin Matthews. I believe, even though he said he has such a long way to go, he's a goal scorer. He's known for his offensive skills, and he's known for his snapshot. So I believe he can be the top player on that list to break the record, no doubt. Now we're going to be talking about college hockey. So Hobey Baker Award finalists were announced. It will be Isaac Howard, Ryan Letter, and Z Bulliam to be finalists for the Hobie Baker Award. And in case you guys don't know, what is the Hobie Baker Award? It is an award that goes out to the top NCAA college hockey player of the season. Let's get right into it. So Isaac Howard, of course, is a finalist for the award. He was drafted in the first round, 31st overall by the Tampa Bay Lightning in the 2022 NHL draft. He led the Spartans with 52 points this season, 26 goals, 26 assists with 52 points with the Michigan State Spartans, and he averaged 1.41 points per game. And he achieved personal career best in all offensive categories, including power play goals with 5 and game-winning goals with 4. Accolades: he was named the Big Ten Player of the Year and first All-Team Big Ten, and he was recognized as the Big Ten scoring champion, and he was also the most outstanding player in the Big Ten college hockey tournament. And he also scored the game-winning goal in the Big Ten championship game against the Ohio State Buckeyes, which obviously was an electrifying goal. The Spartans crowd, the roof blew off the place in that game, and that was an unreal game as well. And he also represented Team USA at the 2024 World Juniors. I wish we could have seen him play for Team USA at the 2025 World Juniors, but obviously he was not on the roster. But could have seen him on the roster though. And then number 2, Ryan Leonard of the Washington Capitals. Of course, after his season with the Boston College Eagles ended with a 3-1 loss to the Denver Pioneers, he signed an entry-level contract deal with the Washington Capitals. Only 1 point in 4 NHL games played. He made his NHL debut on April the 1st against his hometown Boston Bruins. I don't know how many NHL players get to make the NHL debut against the... I would say, I don't know how many NHL players that are from Boston or Massachusetts in general will make the NHL debut against the Boston Bruins. But obviously Ryan Leonard, he had a bunch of friends and family out for his NHL debut in his hometown against his hometown team, the Boston Bruins. He scored his first NHL goal in the Capitals' 5-3 win over the Blackhawks last week, which ended up being an empty netter, which I do want to say this about that game. Capitals head coach Spencer Carberry, after Alex Ovechkin tied Wayne Gretzky for the all-time goal record in that game last week, Capitals head coach Spencer Carberry asked Alex Ovechkin if he wanted to be out there for the empty net goal. Alex Ovechkin said no, and then Spencer Carberry asked him again, are you sure you don't want to be out here for the empty net goal? So he asked him again because just to make sure that he didn't want to be out there for the empty net goal. Are you sure you don't want to be out there for the empty net goal? And then Alex Ovechkin said, yes, I'm completely sure. I do not want to be out there for the empty net goal. I don't want to break the record that way, which that decision I do respect. He wanted to break the record off in style, and that is what he did in the Islanders game. So I do respect the decision. As much as I wanted him to break the record in that game so badly, I do respect his decision on not wanting to break the record that way with it being an empty netter. And Ryan Leonard said, okay, he's not going to be out here on the ice. There's an empty netter. Goalie's off to the bench. They got the 6 attacker out. I'm going to try and make my mark, and I'm going to score my first career goal. I don't care if it's an empty netter, and that's what Ryan Leonard did. And Wayne Gretzky congratulated him after he scored his first career goal, which I don't know how many NHL players had their first career goal ended up being an empty netter. So I thought that was kind of funny and odd and impressive that Ryan Leonard's first career goal ended up being an empty netter in that game. Like I said, I don't know too many NHL players whose first career goal ended up being an empty netter, but Ryan Leonard is first on my list. But take a look at his season performance with the BC Eagles. He has 49 points in 37 games played with the BC Eagles this season, 30 goals, 19 assists for 49 points in 37 games. So not bad from Ryan Leonard. And he averaged 1.32 points per game. and he was the team captain of Team USA at the 2025 World Juniors. He led the team to their second consecutive gold medal. He also won a gold medal with Team USA at the 2024 World Juniors, and Rucker McGorty was the team captain then, and he was named MVP at the 2025 World Juniors. But going back to the 2024 World Juniors for Ryan Leonard, of course, it was Team USA against Team Sweden. Ryan Leonard scored for Team USA, and then he blew a kiss to the crowd. And this game was in Sweden. That game was in Sweden, by the way. And he taunted the crowd, blew a kiss to the crowd after he scored for Team USA against Sweden. So that's one moment in that World Juniors that I would never forget. I thought it was kind of funny. Obviously, the Swedish fans did not like that, but I thought it was, kind of funny that Ryan Leonard did that. And of course, Rucker McGorty, after he received the gold medal in that game for Team USA, he kind of taunted the Swedish fans, like walking up to receive the gold medal in such a funny way. So I thought that was, kind of funny as well. But obviously, a lot of other NHL fans, not just the Swedish fans, but other NHL fans did not like that from Rucker McGorty, especially with him being the team captain of Team USA at the World Juniors that year. But moving on to Steve Bulliam, who was drafted by the Minnesota Wild, 12th overall, first round of the 2024 NHL Draft. Currently still in the Frozen Four mix with the Denver Pioneers, who is looking to win back-to-back national championships. Take a look at Steve Bulliam's stats with the Denver Pioneers this season. He has 48 points, 13 goals, 35 assists for 48 points this season with the Denver Pioneers. He's currently leads all defensemen on the team with 48 points, and he achieved a plus 17 plus-minus rating and contributed 3 power play goals. And fun fact, in his freshman year, he recorded the first 50-point season by a Denver freshman since the 1983-84 season. And he also became the first freshman defenseman in program history to earn All-American accolades. And of course, Z Bulliam was with Team USA when they won gold medal at the World Juniors. Wish he could have been on the roster for 2025. Some players that won gold medal with Team USA at the World Juniors in 2024 were on this roster for 2025 as well. So I wish Z Bulliam could have been on this roster still, but obviously David Carl, who did coach the 2024 Team USA team, he did coach the 2025 World Juniors team for Team USA. He wanted to go with new players. He didn't want to go with the same players for the roster, which I do respect that. But still sticking with college hockey, we're going to preview the 2025 Frozen Four. So the Frozen Four will start tomorrow at the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, which is home to the St. Louis Blues. And this is the first time since 2007 that the Frozen Four will be in St. Louis. The semifinal matchups will be the Denver Pioneers taking on the Western Michigan Broncos at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 4 o'clock p.m. Central. And then it will be the Penn State Nitanny Lions taking on the BU Terriers at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. Central. And the championship game is obviously this Saturday, April the 12th. And all these games will be aired on ESPN2. But let's start with players to watch and the big storylines for each team. So the Western Michigan Broncos. First Frozen Four appearance for the Broncos, and they secured the program's first Penrose Cup and NCHC Frozen Face-Off title under head coach Pat Furserwaller. Hopefully I pronounced that last name right. I probably didn't. Who is a two-time finalist for the National Coach of the Year award. And key players on the Western Michigan Broncos to watch for this Frozen Four semifinal matchup tomorrow: Liam Valente, who was named the Fargo's Regional's Most Outstanding Player, and then Tim Walsh, who scored the game-winning goal for the Western Michigan Broncos to advance to the Frozen Four. And then number 2, the Denver Pioneers. So, of course, Denver Pioneers, we all know what they are looking forward to do. They are looking forward to win back-to-back national championship titles. They won last year in 2024. I think that was against Minnesota State. Correct me if I'm wrong. Key players on the team to watch out for in this semifinal matchup game for tomorrow: Z Bulliam, who was named the Northeast Regional Most Outstanding Player, and he is a finalist for the Hobie Baker Award, which again goes out to the top NCAA College Hockey Player of the Year. And then another player to watch out for, Jack Devine, who led the Pioneers with a career-high 57 points in 43 games played this season, 13 goals, 44 assists for 57 points in 43 games played for Jack Devine. And according to Elite Prospects, Jack Devine is a slippery skater with high-end offensive instincts that allow him to facilitate playmaking for his wingers. That is a quote I got off of Elite Prospects. He certainly has the skill set. He has the mindset to be a dynamic player out on the ice for the Denver Pioneers. He's known for his offensive skills. So he would be a player I would watch out for on the ice for tomorrow. And then, of course, you got the Penn State Nitanny. I'm going to struggle with that name. If you go to Penn State, please help me announce that name, because I don't know how to announce that name. Penn State Nitanny Lions. I'm going to get it eventually. Guys. And, of course, this is their first Frozen Four appearance for the team. They reached the Frozen Four by defeating UConn 3-2 in overtime during the Allentown Regional Final. Key players to watch out for tomorrow will be Matt DiMarchico, who scored the overtime game-winning goal against UConn to send Penn State to the Frozen Four. And then Aiden Fink, who led the Lions in goals with 23, assists with 30, and points with 53. And then last but not least, the BU Terriers. Of course, Macklin Celebrini went to BU playing for the Terriers before playing for the Sharks of the NHL. And under head coach Jay Pandolfo, the Terriers have made consecutive Frozen Four appearances in 2023 and 2024. And it's the third straight year under him that they will be making a Frozen Four appearance. Key players to watch out for: Cole Eisman, who was drafted by the New York Islanders in the 2024 NHL draft. And he is known for his goal-scoring ability, and he holds the scoring record for the U.S. National Team Development Program. So this kid really has some potential, and he will be a key player to watch out for in this one. And another one will be Kamel Bernard, who is recognized for his 200-foot game and defensive liability. And I see a little Patrice Bergeron in this kid, so another player to watch out for on the BU Terriers. And fun fact, the last time the BU Terriers won the national title was in 2009 with a 4-3 overtime win over the Miami Redhawks. So they all know what's at stake, and they're going to be playing who are they going to be playing? The Pioneers. I think that's what I said. No, it's the Penn State Nitanny Lions. So I thought they were going to be playing the Pioneers, but it could happen. We could see Denver and BU in the championship game, so it could happen. So that might just be a spoiler that I just gave out, but we'll just have to see how everything goes for tomorrow's semifinal matchups. But they will be playing against Penn State in the semifinals. They could play Denver in the national championship game for the Saturday. So if that's what happens, they will know what's at stake for that one. But obviously, they're going to need a huge win over the Penn State Nitanny Lions for tomorrow to face Denver in the championship game for Saturday. But moving on to the Canucks and Stars game. So this is a game that I most certainly have to talk about, even though I didn't watch the game. I saw this on Instagram. Canucks scored 3 goals within a minute left in the third period to tie the game up at 5, and then went in overtime against the Dallas Stars. So I did not watch this game. I did see this on my Instagram and, of course, on the NHL website that this happened. So obviously a historic comeback win for the Vancouver Canucks, and Kiefer Sherwood, the former Nashville Predator, had the overtime game-winning goal in that game. And the Canucks, with the win, they keep their playoff hopes alive. They move to 36, 29, and 13 of the season. And I said on the Hockey Talk with TG podcast, points are at the essence at this time of the year. You cannot be losing these games. Now, losing these games, obviously, everybody hates to lose. But at this time of year, you cannot be losing these games. You cannot be playing poor, bad hockey in these types of games at this time of the season, because the Stanley Cup playoffs, they start on April the 19th, April 20th, and there's only one more week left in the regular season, so points are at the essence. You cannot be failing to lose these games. And the Canucks, they have 85 points this year, and they're currently 6 points out of a playoff spot. Of course, the Minnesota Wild hold that second wild card spot in the Western Conference. They have a game today against the San Jose Sharks, which obviously will be a huge 2 points for the team. And the Stars, they got off to the goal scoring just like they led 3-0 against the Canucks after 2 periods of play. They got power play goals from Mikko Rantanen, Mason Marchment, and Matt Duchene. And then the Canucks scored 16 seconds into the third period on a goal from Jake DeBrusk, which I kind of regret taking off of my fantasy hockey team, by the way, because I did have him on my fantasy hockey team before, and I kind of regret taking him off. And then Victor Mancini brought the Canucks within one with a power play goal 4 minutes and 39 seconds into the third period. And then the Stars were like, They did the Dikembe Mutombo finger and said, And so Maverick Bork pushed the Stars' lead to 4-2 at 17 minutes and 15 seconds of the third period with a shot from the high slot. And then Mikael Granlund seemed to ice the game with an empty netter for securing a potential 5-2 victory for the Dallas Stars. So it seemed like the game was going to be over after Mikael Granlund scored the empty net goal to make it 5-2. But obviously the Canucks, they did not back down, and they scored with under a minute left from Atu Ratti, which made it 5-3. And then Pius Suter, who I should know very well because he used to play for the Chicago Blackhawks, he wasn't that good for us, but obviously good in this game for the Canucks. He scored twice to tie the game up at 5 and send this game to overtime. He scored with 30 seconds left in the third period, making it 5-4. And then with just about 6 seconds left in the game, he scored again from a sharp angle near the red line, tying the game up at 5 to send the game into overtime. And of course, like I mentioned, Kiefer Sherwood scored the overtime game-winning goal. So obviously that could have been a game of the season for the Canucks. And probably NHL-wise in general, that could have been one of the top 10 NHL games of the season. Nobody expected this comeback win for the Vancouver Canucks. Like, after Mikael Granlund iced the game away with an empty netter, or seemed to ice the game away with an empty netter, that should have been done. It should have been all set and roll. 5-2 victory for the Dallas Stars. But the Canucks, with the biggest comeback of the season, and probably all in hockey in general, made things interesting with 2 goals from Pius Suter, and then they got another goal from Atu Ratti to tie the game up at 5, and then Kiefer Sherwood iced the game away. So big 2 points for the Vancouver Canucks. Obviously the Dallas Stars already clinched the playoff spot, but for the Canucks, this had playoff aspirations, and they didn't seem to back down during the final minutes of the third period. And they will have another big game on Thursday in Denver against the Colorado Avalanche at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Another 2 points in that game. Another huge 2 points in that game for the Vancouver Canucks. Dallas Stars, on the other hand, they continue a 3-game homestand against the Jets Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Alright, NHL games on the slate for today. So there's only 5 games on the slate. We got the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. followed by the Philadelphia Flyers taking on New York Rangers at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. This will air on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max. And then we got the San Jose Sharks taking on the Minnesota Wild at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And then we got the St. Louis Blues taking on the Edmonton Oilers at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time. This will also air on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max. And then the last game of the night, before I get into that, Blues' 12-game winning streak comes to an end in Monday's game against the Winnipeg Jets. So obviously, they couldn't win 13 straight games. They look to win this game against the Edmonton Oilers because Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, the dynamic duo, are both out with a lower body injury. And so this should be a game that the Blues should take advantage of the Edmonton Oilers. And obviously the Edmonton Oilers had a sloppy game against Anaheim on Monday. That looked like pond hockey in that game to me. So they will, of course, look to win this game, but I think the Blues should take advantage of this game, considering that the Oilers' top two players, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, are both out with lower body injuries. And then the final game of the night will be the Calgary Flames taking on the Anaheim Ducks at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Obviously, the Flames have 87 points this season. They're 4 points out of a wild card spot, so obviously big 2 points for the Calgary Flames heading to this one. Anaheim Ducks already eliminated from playoff contention, so this game doesn't really matter to them. But the Flames, it does. They need a huge 2 points in this game to come out with the win. But before we wrap things up, just want to discuss the Ottawa Senators. They clinched the playoff spot. This will be the first time since 2017 that the Senators are in a playoff spot, and Erik Karlsson was on the team then. They lock up that first wild card spot. We could get a Battle of Ontario in the playoffs between Toronto Maple Leafs and Ottawa Senators, and if that does happen, that will be the first time since 2004 that those two teams will be squaring off. And then the Washington Capitals, with the season that they're having, with Alex Ovechkin breaking the goal record on Sunday's game against New York Islanders, they have now clinched the Metropolitan Division title. Buffalo Sabres eliminated from playoff contention despite them shutting out the Carolina Hurricanes yesterday. They are eliminated from playoff contention. Their playoff drought is at 14, 15 seasons, so they have the longest drought in franchise history, probably even sports history as well. So we don't even know when will be the next time that we will see Buffalo Sabres playoff hockey. Canadians and Red Wings, like I was talking about for Cole Caulfield, as a player that could possibly break Alex Ovechkin's goal record. Canadians had a 4-1 win over the Detroit Red Wings yesterday, and Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki scored in that game. And the Canadians could possibly lock up that second wildcard spot. And the Red Wings' playoff hopes are fading. They're going down, 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 down. And the Red Wings last season were oh so close to making the Stanley Cup playoffs. But obviously the Capitals won that game against Philly to eliminate the Red Wings from being in the playoffs. So they were so close last season to making the playoffs. But obviously this season, don't see it happening. Sorry if you're a Red Wings fan. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this episode of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. Really do appreciate it. I don't know if I'll be doing an episode for Friday, because Friday I am going to be playing in a beer league hockey game. And of course, for those who don't know what beer league hockey is, it's basically an exhibition game where you just play with a bunch of friends. It's just playing for fun, basically. It's not like actual beer league. It's just playing for fun, going out there and playing hockey, no matter if you're a terrible or great hockey player. So Friday's episode remains unknown. I don't know if I'll be doing an episode Friday. I'll be playing in a beer league hockey game, so we will just have to see about that. I'll keep you guys updated as always, so make sure that you follow the Hockey Talk with TG podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and subscribe on YouTube. But hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. God first as always. Be blessed. Like I said, I don't know if I'll be doing Friday's episode, but like I said, I'll keep you guys updated. And take care.